Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. It's great to kind of be back. My work week was harder than I assumed, so I'm sorry for not doing any videos. I hope some people watched the live stream on Thursday. That was the thing I could do, kind of. I'm not used to going out of the house anymore. Work from home a lot. Yeah, not a lot, all the time. And my body is not used to walking anymore. I'm still a bit sick. It's kind of was harsher than I thought, but my doctor dropped antibiotics on me, and that the whole thing should be over. Don't know, in the next days. It's at the moment it's still a bit, everything's roughed up, and I to my throat something. I also caught something in my ear, and it is all on the decline, but it's not nice. Together with school noises, especially from kids with disabilities or mental disabilities, let's say it that way. A few teachers warned me that the noise will be there, and I said, yeah, I can't be that bad, and I'm pretty sure it's even worse than on a normal school. But I like it. I really like it. The kids are great, and the start was not, my start was not really rough, because the guy I'm there for wasn't there, so I had to find other things to do. I hope that the next week, I'm recording this on Sunday, my guy will be there, and I will be able to do my. I kind of did my job, but yeah, I'm especially there for one person, and this person is not there. But it's cool, so I can divide my attention to other people, and it's all great. But let us go to Space Engineers. Maybe we can talk a bit later about my week and how that all came to be. You can see that the power transmitter mod, some of you might still know it. That's how the transmitter antennas and all that stuff look like. Seems to be back, although I said it is not. But this weekend, someone brought it back, repaired the mod, and brought it back in after the original mod wasn't updated for months. Now I should also find out who that was. So maybe let us do live here. It was Queasy. And we have Skullbjorn in the in the comments. It works. The question is answered. I can only say that it definitely works. I have disconnected the power spire from the rest of the base, and we are getting power. I still have to balance it a bit, because it's kind of, you have to say, I want this and this much power transferred over to the base, and I have to do the math to find how much it is in the end. It seems that at the moment we receive 15 megawatts or something like that. There is a loss on the way. That's there, so that's why I'm putting more solar panels on, so that I maybe can up the power transfer there, and it's pretty neat. I didn't have a lot of time to really play Space Engineers, so we don't have a lot of changes. What I want to do today is work on this a bit more. I want to carve out this part again, although there are the batteries on here, but I will move them and put them somewhere else, because I want to put down a drill rig. So one of the drill rigs we usually use will be added to this thing, because going out with this thing, we talked about that, is kind of really, really slow because I cannot really drill into the deposits with this method. With this method, I can skim the surface, get a lot of stone, and kind of, work with that. But I would like to be able to form the quick the quick resource run. I would like to be able to go in and drill out core out parts of a deposit or something like that. And that's why we definitely need a rig that can drill deeper than just this thing in the back. So what we need to move is we need to anchor these wheels to different parts of the rig. And so we attach it to the sides so that we can cut it loose, and maybe also bring this straight down here. And then maybe, can I do this? Yes, I can. And then do this and this. And then we can go straight up, hopefully, and anchor it to up here. And do the same here. I want to get a bit more space in the middle part there. And that's why we need to change this a bit. It looked nice, and it might take away a bit from the aesthetics. But I say that what we could do is, why am I another button press? We could do this, then do this. That should work out better. Then it doesn't look so bad. So I want to bring this conveyor line up a bit to have space for the pistons. I want to make a relatively big piston snake, kind of. So if I can get the space, I want to make the drill rig 7 blocks long, 7 blocks wide. Wide. And then maybe have a 3x3. I have to see how that works out. 3x3 piston conveyor snake. We will see how that works out. Then we saw the wheels. I brought them in on this rover. I think in the last episode. It's so long ago. We just talked about them. These are the wheels I brought in, and I brought in another set of wheels. There is these wheels, 5x5. They are part. I'm not sure where they come from, but it is a wheel set I have seen already. I think in LVTS or Tiamat, or I don't know, one of Ramethep's things. I'm pretty sure had these wheels. They are big, 5x5 at the moment. They are the normal size, but it seems they are wider, and I want to maybe use them on a different rover. This one has its wheels already, and changing them, there's no real use in that. But I want to see if they are nicer. The wheels Ramethep used on one of the servers he's playing on. I can't I get through this convoluted all these servers. And he had 7x7 wheels. that's something I would like to have, a really, really, really big rover wheel. Okay, now let us do the same thing here. So what we in the end exchange is just these 2 blocks. Come on, pick up the steel plate. And then we can go, I think, do this too, so that we can remove these again. So we will have a kind of a hidden drill rig inside of this rover, because again, just scraping the surface is the style choice we kind of want to make. But when it comes to really drilling something, then we should go with a deeper mining rig. I'm constantly contemplating how to do the... Oh, what was that? Why did I get damaged? Did I fall so far? Yeah, it kind of it kind of is hard for me to decide how I want to have the top looking. I need to really get into that and finish that. And then the thing is, what I don't know yet is how I want to then have maybe the carry-all latch onto this. It's a weird thing, but in the end it will all work out. I hope, is this fixed? Nope. So one thing I noticed while I was working here is that there is something, and I'm not sure if that's something you noticed too, but can you see that? There's something wrong with projections on small projectors. I tested that out with the small projectors added to rotors, not added to rotors. They are off by half a block or something like that. Here, can you see that this projection that comes from this projector is kind of moved into that direction, and also upwards by half a block. So it's weird, and you cannot set half a block. You can set full blocks. And the weird thing is, when you weld it up, it places it in the normal orientation, and it kind of moves all over the place, because I was working with this and I was trying to fix this, and I don't know, it's all messed up. If you have the same thing, let me know in the comments. That would be interesting for me to know. I know people always say, yeah, you can just take a look at the at the bug reports or something like that, but I don't. That's not what is happening. So good, I will remove a few more things here in the middle and then come back to you, and then replace the pistons. One thing I noticed while building here is, and don't know, taking a look at it and taking another look at it and all that stuff. This rig in the back is kind of ridiculous, and I don't like it anymore. I don't know, I made the whole explanation how I want this to be, and now I feel that is not what I want anymore. And I kind of decided that I want to have something in the front that is smaller, that we can maybe move, and that is a bit more true to the original. The thing is that, again, with this rig that we will build here, we can do deep drilling. And that is what we need in the end. But on this planet, there are a lot of stones and a lot of boulders that lie around, and we need something for them too. And I can also go in with this and then make nice lines in the sand, but I don't know. I'm getting more and more feelings of combine harvester. This thing should drive the other way around, and that's not what I want. Yeah, the hard decision, not a hard decision, but this needs to go. The back needs to be reshaped, and we need to have something in the front that we can maybe lower down a bit, so that it is able to make a nice line into the sand, give us all the dust particles that we need to give the dune harvester or the spice harvester feeling, and also the capability to maybe mine these stones. And I think we should do that before we continue with a big drill rig. Kind of bite into it and just get rid of these drills on the back. I know. It's kind of a thing after I explain how I want this all to be. It's a bit weird to just get rid of it again, but I don't feel this anymore. And then something needs to change, I have the feeling. So, but the main gig for today will still be the first parts of the piston snake that we built here. So I need a piston that points downwards, and then we kind of spiral around so that we can go in and do some deep drilling with that. I haven't figured out how much space I really have by now. That's something I need to figure out, but it's at the moment I think I can get away with just starting this here. Okay, turn this around. Put a bend in here. So I want to be able to, I don't know, it's I will have to reintroduce Fun's drilling script. I hope that still works. Otherwise I will have to contact him and ask if he would be so nice to maybe update it. Haven't talked to Fun in a long time. Need to do that. He seems to be occupied with work or something like that. I don't know. He's also, I don't know. He seemed to be interested in another game at the moment, and then yeah, people tend to sometimes just go and say, okay, I change the games that I play pretty fast, and I can completely understand that. I'm very much different. I tend to stay with a game for a long time, and I think this series is testament to that. Oh, I hope that doesn't scrape, otherwise we will have to find a solution for that. So now we bend around, snake that up again, and go this way. I don't know how deep we need to go, but would be good to have a bit of reach on this thing. The deposits sometimes are pretty far down, and with this we should be able to reach a lot down. Oh yeah, pretty far down, and that's fitting. That's fitting. So maybe that's a good time to talk a bit more about my work week. I don't know. It's fun. I'm with the whole thing going into something so different from what I usually would do and what I worked in. It's pretty crazy to see how much patience one can muster up to work with kids that in this case are even need more patience than other kids might need. And it was fun. I on Friday, because the little guy I'm supposed to be with, basically, again, didn't show up. That is something I don't deal with. I just say didn't show up, and then usually I get some. I have to work with a different kid, and on Friday I had the great opportunity to meet up with a guy that is pretty. I don't know. I don't know his condition. I'm not allowed to talk about his condition, and that's completely okay that way. He's a little guy that is really not too communicative. He's talking a little bit with you, but all in one words, and it's. But he was so great. He was testing me out the whole day and see where my kind of line in the sand is and all that stuff. It was great to see that the little guy. I'm calling him little guy because he is body wise very little. One thing I immediately noticed is that finding out the age of these kids sometimes is really surprising, because they are kids that look like, don't know, that look like 7-8 years old, and they are 14, and it's. But this guy was great. We had some fun making puzzles. And that's even challenging to be. No, it wasn't, but it was great. I did some, don't know. The teachers kind of set me up and say, okay, maybe do this training with him. Try to let him do most of it alone and all that stuff. And it's great. I had a lot of fun, and we made a walk outside and went into the woods. There's a bit of a wooded area in the vicinity of the school, and then we went there and took a look. Don't know if we can find some interesting things there. Most of that is to kind of give the kids a bit of an experience and to not overwhelm them with with stuff that is at one point the little brain is pretty full, and then you have to do something else, and it was fun. This guy is the guy I had on Friday can't see very well. That's also a problem sometimes, and we made more stuff with noises and with feeling things, and it was brilliant. It was really brilliant. Had to I got a big hug at one point, and that's great to have. There's so many different kids with different levels of don't know. Disability is sometimes, I think, the wrong word to use, but the kids are very, very different in their abilities, and how bad it is. Bad is also the wrong word, and I don't know. It's a real culture shock for me. Don't know. There's here in Germany we have a program that after they we had for a long time, we had mandatory military service, or if you didn't want to go to the military, you had to do civil services. So you had to go into these schools, or into, I don't know, anything like that. And you had to do, as a male, by the way, just as a male, you had to do the military service or the civil services, and for the same amount of time, kind of. And after people kind of went in and said, okay, now we accept women in the military, then we should also accept them, or they should also have to do this mandatory military service. That was kind of abandoned, so now we have I don't know, now our army is you go there, you get paid, and it's like a workplace, and not you have to go there. And to replace, the thing is, they didn't want to get rid of mandatory military service, not because of the military service, but because of the civil service. They helped out in homes for old people, in these schools, and they needed these workers there because they are cheap. And now there is something that is called FSJ, so it's in German it's freiwilliges soziales Jahr, so people can go and say, I want to do civil services for a bit of money for 1 year, and do that on their own, out of free will. And it's nice for people coming out of school to say, okay, I want to do something different for a year. And a lot of these young men and women work there for with me. They started with me there, and now they are there for 1 year. And let's say it that way, I had to still choose. I was kind of I have disabilities myself, and so I was kind of excluded from military service. I hadn't have to do that, and then you don't have to do the civil service too. So when I came out of school, that still was mandatory. And that's ages ago, because I'm so old. And now these young people do that on their own and out of their own free will. It's great, and it's great to see that these people do that. And I don't know where I wanted to go to, but we have a lot of these people there too, and it's just great. It's great work with a lot of, I don't know, the teachers impress me the most. They are a weird bunch, but you have to be really, really special to do this. Man, do you have to be special to do that. Your mindset I don't know. It's unexplainable how these people, with how much patience and how much dedication these people work their job. It's amazing. So, and I'm just don't know. I for me it's just I have one little guy, one little girl, or that's one thing. Here we have to kind of, so women work with the girls, men work with the men, or with the boys, and it's because you have to sometimes go to the toilet with them and all that stuff. So that's how that's regulated, kind of. And so I will work with boys, girls or women will work with girls. The other way around, by the way. It's sometimes yeah. So it's okay if it seems to be okay if women work with boys there too. It's a weird thing, but that's how that goes. It's such a cool thing. The feeling is good, but the way to the school at the moment just breaks me. Okay, we have this now. Now the question is, what do we do? So we set all these pistons to a very, very slow, downward and upward motion. So we will share the inertia tensor also with the advanced drill, the advanced rotor, share that. I hear something and I don't know. So minus
no fuel.
0.1. We will just go with that right now.
No
so
fuel.
Then we group the drills.
No fuel.
I have fuel, please. Stop
No fuel.
telling me that I don't have fuel. Must be the fluid batteries. I had to break some of them. And so I will have to bring that stuff back in. Let me just get rid of some of the things so that I stock up some more. So yeah, the work is the work at the moment. The first 3 days on one of my colleagues. A guy that started with me, but he did his this civil service, or the I don't know how to, his FSJ. He did that in this school and wanted to go back there because he wants to kind of he wants to learn. We have different ways to go into teaching roles, and this guy wants to do another year there and then go and be a teacher for these children. And he he asked me on Friday if I will come back, and I said, why shouldn't I? I don't know, I survived 3 days. Why should I not come back to the school? The people there are very, very careful with that because yeah, a lot of people are not made out for this type of work, understandably, and it's yeah, I can understand where he was coming from, but yeah, no fuel is just the worst. Maybe I have to bring in a normal battery. Can I do that? Ion beam combiner. That must be from some of the mods got updated, and I really have to go into that and take a look what got updated, if there's anything new in there. Okay, let's do it this way. I want to test this out, if it breaks on the way down or something like that. But for that we would have to drive this thing to somewhere else. Let us maybe go a few meters away from here, and then I think I will come back to you and we will test how well the mainly the piston snake works. This is the main thing that could go wrong right now. Okay, I would say back when I found a good position to drill. One thing I have forgotten is that this thing needs to be locked down if I want to drill. So we will make a short test and see if it works. But we need to drive back then and put some landing gears on here or something like that so that we can lock it down. Okay, the rotors work. Now the question is, are the pistons too fast? Or is that working out? No, that's not working out. We need to spin the advanced rotor a bit faster, I would say. And then I need to kind of, at one point I need to find a way to maybe encase this whole thing a bit. Because it's very visible right now. But on the other hand, it's maybe okay to have that. Let us see if we can drill with this. Okay, come on. Let's hope this works well. It's working, it's working, it's working. Now the question is, are the drills fast enough? Is this whole piston set up at the moment? Again, we will later automate that again with the piston script. I might have to make it even a bit slower. The moment we are moving with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0.8 meters per second. That is maybe a bit too fast. The rotors could snag all the drills, and that's something we might not want to have. So let us see. Let us bring the pistons back up again and then go a bit slower. So I have it set up here. And then we go to 0, 0, 8. Now we reverse it. That should be better. It definitely works. And it should be good with the it could be that the pistons snag. So I might have to add more drills to this. Not sure how to do that, but that's maybe something I have to do, because these pistons could end up hitting the rim of the hole. But I'm okay with this right now. So it looks great. Does what it is supposed to be, it is supposed to do. And great test. Now we do some more finagling around with that. So let us bring that up again. 4. We can stop the rotor here. Needs a bit of braking force so that it stops, or we put a rotor lock on here. That's something we could do too. Rotor lock, where is it? Rotor lock. So let us just rotate it a bit more, and then we rotor lock it in place so that we can drive back. Again, we need, and one thing I still haven't put on is I think an ore detector. That's something we need to put on. I need to put on a gyro. I removed the gyro and I got some air with this thing. That's not good. And then we also need maybe a bit more cargo. But that's all for the future. The next thing that we will do is design something for the front. That will happen in the next episode. Something that resembles this vacuum cleaner-esque front part of the whole thing, because yeah, the spice harvester usually sucks in the sand and then it filters that for the spice, and here again we will filter for the materials that we can get, but we need to have something for the holes. I need a way to cover up the holes. This thing needs an assembler, at least a basic one, so that we can make something around the holes, close that off, mark it or something like that, so that it is visible and we don't drive into it. But that will happen in the future too. This resembles kind of the miner we have on Mars. So it's a big wheeled rover that is able to transport that stuff, produce a few things, and is very independent. Here we will kind of cut the independence at one point. We still have solars on here, but the solars will go away, and then we just rely on the fluid batteries and something that fills up the rovers. Maybe we can do that with the small rovers. That would be a neat thing. And again, this movable filling station that I want to put in. The carry-all could do that too. That was a suggestion I got. By the way, I have to go back to comments. I'm sorry for not answering everything right now. Again, I'm sorry. I needed. Sounds weird, but I needed to just, yeah, do a lot of nothing for the last few days. And one thing is my weird sleep schedule that is very much set up for American time most of the day, and that needed to change, and it still needs to change, but yeah, that's something I needed to do. And now I will go back into the whole YouTube thing too, and so that will also give me hopefully opportunity to then also answer comments and all that stuff. I'm sorry for not really being too approachable at the moment. That needs to change. Good people. I would say I will drive this back, but you don't need to be here for that. I would say that's all for today. We achieved drilling capabilities today. Next time again we will do the whole thing on the front for the boulders that are around and for the spice mining, and then we will hopefully close this thing off in the near future, and then can start with the next projects. One thing that we definitely need is the carry-all. I would like to be able to pick this thing up and leave it somewhere else in the desert, and then yeah, don't know, we need some other things around here. The power pylon needs to be upgraded. I need to do more with the transmitters for power. Then we at one point need to see if we can discover sieges or build them or something like that. Wind farms. We need more vaporizers for the production of hydrogen. Again, I want to have, for the carry-all, I want to have a bit of hydrogen production so that we can fake a hydrogen drive, I would say, because again, we will fake a lot. We will do some sci-fi magic and do some trickery, I would say. Good people, but I think that's all for today. Hope you liked the episode. If you did, then please leave a like on the video. Yeah, some of you might have noticed that streams have to start earlier at the moment, but the good thing for me is I'm on I'm on school holiday time now, so that whenever I have school holidays or the schools have holidays here in Germany, then I have days and days off where we can go back to the usual schedule and maybe fit in some other times, because then I'm definitely free and I don't have to care for anything. So people, good. Yeah, I would say thanks for watching. Hope you liked the episode. If you did, please leave a like on the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya, guys.